Today what we're going to do is go ahead and get into preparation for our frog dissection. And what I would ask you to do is go ahead and turn to the second page of your frog information sheets. And what we're looking at here is muscles. And what we're doing is comparative anatomy of the frog back to our body. And so what we want to do, this is a skinned frog. And we're going to do external anatomy first, and then we'll go ahead and skin the frog, and then we'll take a look at some different muscles that are in not only in the frog, but also in the human body, and also the same functions. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get these filled out so that you can use these as a resource as we do dissect the frog down the road. Okay, so first things first, all right, number one here is going to be the deltoid muscle, and that is the muscle that is right on top of your shoulder. It allows you to move your humerus up, and we'll go ahead and find that on the frog, and we'll also have you find it on your body as well when we're dissecting that. Okay. Number two allows the frog to and you to do push-ups, and there's two of these. There's a major and minor. This right here is going to be the major, and then the minor is going to be right here. So this is called the pectorals, okay? And as a group, it's pectoralis major and pectoralis minor. We're just going to lump them as a group of pectorals, okay? Then number three allows you to do sit-ups, okay? And as you look at your frog, or once you get your frog skinned, you're going to find out that your frog actually has a 10-pack. You've heard of a 6-pack abs. Your frog has a 10-pack because they store fat inside the body. So this is what we call the rectus abdominis, Abdominus, right? Rectus abdominis, and you'll see the separation in the muscle fibers once you get your frog skinned. Okay. Number four is a group of 4 muscles on top of your thigh and the frog's thigh, and we're going to lump them together as the quadriceps. Okay. When you take anatomy or advanced biology and you're dissecting a pig or a cat, we'll actually ask you to know all 4 names. But here we're just going to lump them as a group of quadriceps, allowing for dorsiflexion of the lower leg. Number 5 gives you and the frog its ups, or the ability to jump, okay, and it is called the gastrocnemius. Okay, and we're also going to take a look at the Achilles tendon and how the gastrocnemius is attached to the Achilles tendon, which is then attached to the calcaneus, and you'll see the Achilles tendon is white and it's very, very fibrous, and we're actually going to go ahead and isolate that when we're looking at this. Okay, continuing counterclockwise, number 6 is what we call the external obliques, and this allows the frog and you to move the upper torso side to side and rotate it. Okay, but the external obliques are the muscles on the side of the abdominal cavity. Number 7 is a tough muscle to find, but it's an important muscle because it allows you to move that humerus in a circular motion, part of the pectoral girdle or the ball and socket joint, and it's kind of, you got to look for it underneath in the armpit, and this is called the anconius, IUS. I need to definitely recalibrate the smart board. Okay, all right, but anconius, and I'll help you find that once we get into taking a look at the muscles. Number 8, the last muscle we're going to find, okay, this is called the mylohyoid muscle, MYLOHYOID, the mylohyoid muscle, okay, and you'll find out when we get into the internal anatomy of the mouth is that the frog's tongue is attached at the front of the mouth, and that's an important adaptation for a predatory animal. And obviously ours are in the back, but this mylohyoid muscle is underneath the mandible, and it's going to help run and move the tongue. Okay, so 8 muscles that we're going to locate and isolate in the frog. I'm going to ask you to turn to the next page. Okay, and if you can't see it on here, but I believe I have it labeled. Yeah, this is the inside of the frog's mouth. Okay, what we're going to do is actually cut some muscle here and right here so we can actually open up and see them out. They're pretty cool adaptations in here for frog survival as a predator. Okay, and the first thing is going to be, they're all going to be right here. Okay, and these are what we call maxillary teeth. Whoops. Okay, I'll tell you what, I am going to quick calibrate this and maybe things will work better. And maybe not, who knows, but we gotta give it a try here. So the maxillary teeth, they're gonna feel like sandpaper, much like the teeth that you felt on the yellow perch. And they're basically just gonna help the frog hold prey in its mouth. And so they're gonna be called maxillary teeth. Okay, and then actually these teeth right here are actually going to be probably located more so right there. These are called vomerine teeth. Okay, and they feel much rougher than do the maxillary teeth. More kind of like a rougher grit sandpaper. Again, going to be holding prey. And then inside here, okay, these are what we call, these are the inside of the nostrils, okay, here, and these are called internal nares, okay? And so that's the inside of the nostrils that you'll see here when we get into the inside of the mouth, okay? Pretty cool adaptation here. These right here, okay, these are the inside of the eye sockets. Okay, and I believe we will probably have discussed this, but the frog has the ability to suck the eye sockets down into the roof of the mouth and help push whatever they're eating towards the glottis. And so it's definitely used not only for seeing, but also to help in swallowing. And then this structure here, and this structure here is what we call the eustachian tube, S-T-A-C-I-A-N tube. We have them as well. It equalizes the pressure from the outside of the ear, or the pinna on the inside of the ear, and it's actually connected to the throat, much like it is here, and you have the ability to equalize air pressure in the middle ear. Okay, so again, pretty cool structure, and we have that same structure as well. This structure looks exactly like the drawing. It has an up and down opening, and it's called the glottis. And we'll go ahead and find that. Everything that the frog is going to swallow goes through the glottis, and then it's an opening into the esophagus. Excuse me. Okay, and obviously the last thing here, this is the tongue. One thing I encourage you to take a look at when you get your frog's mouth open is that the frog's tongue is forked, and kind of interesting. It's also sticky. Another adaptation for catching prey. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and label that as the tongue. Okay, and we're going to actually take a look at these and find these structures. Pretty cool adaptations, allowing that frog to be a predatory animal. Okay, all right. The next two sheets, you will fill out with diagrams in the Google document if you've not done so already, or the Google Doc. And then, so what I need you to do now is turn to this page, and it's the internal anatomy of the frog. And we should be able to find every structure here. The only one that's going to cause us fits would be the ureter, urethra, and the pancreas, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, all right, so obviously the frog is an amphibian. It has a 3-chambered heart, and we're going counterclockwise again. So, okay, they have 2 atria. Okay, this one is the left atrium. This one is the right atrium. Atria is plural, atrium is singular. And then the bottom chamber, what is it, everybody? Yes, it is the ventricle. Remember, we have a 4-chambered heart, and the frog has a 3-chambered heart, so they have just 1 ventricle. Okay, this next structure, probably going to be maybe a green color. It's located underneath the 3 lobes of the liver. 3 lobes of the liver, 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to go ahead and label that now, liver. But this structure here is called the gallbladder. Okay, and that is going to store bile produced by the liver, and bile is a chemical that's going to break down or emulsify fats, which is an important part of the digestive system. Can you live without a gallbladder? Yes, you can. Some people have it removed because they have gallstones. Then you have to take medication to emulsify the fats, but still an important part of the, and you'll be able to find it. It's just, you got to lift up the liver, the lobe's liver, to find it. This next structure is the spleen. Okay, it is about the size of a pea. It's going to be brown in color, darker brown in color than the kidneys. And the spleen is getting rid of old, worn out red blood cells. This next structure is going to be difficult to find. It produces insulin, therefore it must be the pancreas, and it's in the first curve of that stomach. And so that's something that it's kind of hard to find, but I can help you find it. Okay, so obviously I'm just going to kind of outline, it's not on here. All of this right here is stomach, and then this is the pancreas right there. Okay, so just wanted to show you that, point that out to you. Okay, see the next structure. Okay, this is a male frog, therefore these are the testes. They'll be light tan in color. They'll be sitting on top of the kidneys. So I'm going to go ahead and hop over here. Okay, 1, 2, these are the kidneys. All right, and again, if those are not present, then obviously you're going to have a female. And if you have a female, you may have eggs. You'll know right away when you get inside the body cavity. Okay, this next structure kind of looks like cellophane with blood vessels running through it. This is called mesentery. Okay, and that is how food is absorbed, nutrients is absorbed from the small intestine into the bloodstream. Okay, and then and that does come from the small intestine. Okay, so the next two structures here are intestines. This one, and we're talking about diameter here versus diameter here. Okay, so this is going to be the small intestine, and you'll definitely be able to tell the difference between the small and large intestine. Actually, you'll be able to find exactly where it begins. So obviously this is going to be the large intestine. All right. Okay, and then we're going to continue this. Now we're getting into the excretory system. This structure right here is going to deliver urine outside the body. So that is going to be called the urethra. You will not find this. I'm just pointing it out to you. A lot of you should be able to find this next structure that temporarily holds urine before it's excreted, and that is the urinary bladder. Okay, and then this tube that connects the kidneys to the bladder. If you ever have kidney stones, which I hope you never do because I've heard is terrible, I cannot relate. But the kidney stones can get lodged in this tube, and it's very painful. This is what we call the ureter or ureter, depending on how you say it. Okay, and so the kidneys are going to filter the blood from liquid waste. All right, now your frog may or may not have these, and they may be very, very different in size and amount. Okay, but this is how the frog is going to store fat, and so they are called fat bodies. Okay, and it is made of lipids, so it's going to be greasy, and they're going to be a yellowish color. Some are bright yellow, some are a little bit duller yellow. Okay, we already talked about the liver. And then the last structure here, going to be kind of a light gray in color, spongy in texture, and they're going to be further posterior in this thoracic cavity, and obviously these are going to be the lungs. Okay. All right. So we're going to attempt to identify all or as many of these as we can, and then we'll go ahead and try and extract the brain and take a look at the different structures of the brain. I will share with you. This is what we're gonna take the heart out, but then this is what the brain looks like. You should have already or will fill that out. But the challenge is to extract this whole thing. It looks exactly like this drawing. So, as always, thanks for watching, and have a great day.